With a look ahead at Memorial Day travel and your weekend travel plans, lots of us ready to kick off the summer season. Let's bring in travel expert Katy Nastro for some do's and don'ts on planning that perfect getaway. Katy, good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me back on GMA.
All right, this is a real record setter, right? 45 million people expected to travel next weekend, most of them by car. So help us with traffic. How do we avoid it?
Yeah, correct, Gio. 87% of people traveling for Memorial Day are going to hit the road. So we want people to do their best and try to avoid that late afternoon Friday peak window of starting around 2:30 in major metro areas. AAA has a really handy major metro traffic guide, and it basically gives you, based on the city or the city that you're closest to, when to avoid. And again, you know, most people are going to be traveling back on that Monday. So if you do have to travel back on that Monday via car, try to go early.
Okay, so helpful there. And traveling by car isn't the only way people are getting around. What else do you recommend?
You know, interestingly enough, we've seen an uptick in the other categories. So that's buses, trains, cruises, specifically amongst younger demographics. 8% increase year over year in that other category. So, you know, especially when you're looking at cruises, the affordability is there, and it's sort of a no-brainer. You know, you just sort of step on the ship, set it and forget it. All of your activities, your restaurants, whatnot is all taken care of. You don't have decision paralysis, where I think a lot of people in travel planning tend to not like it because of that. They don't know, there's so many choices, so many great places around the world.
I have a hard time, I've been telling you, I have a hard time planning.
Yes.
I'm like, where do I go?
Too many
Where
good
is
places.
it cheap?
Exactly.
Like, you don't want to spend a lot of money.
Exactly. So yeah, look at alternative forms of transport, not just road trips, not just flights. There's other categories out there.
Ever since our first Disney cruise, I've told my husband that's the only way we should travel. And it's not just because Disney is the parent company of ABC
So
News.
fun for kids, though.
So
I remember going on a Disney cruise as a youngster, younger than I am now. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, really, it is so memorable for kids.
And if you are flying, this is the first big holiday after the Real ID deadline. What's your baseline advice?
Well, you know, for all of us that do have a real ID, like I do, which you all shamed me last time. Got it in the mail. Yeah, you know, look, the TSA is not going to be cracking down, and this is really going to be the first test for the Real ID. Best piece of advice that we are giving people over at Going, just give yourself a little bit extra time. Don't fret if you don't have a Real ID. They are allowing people through, that you do need to go through an extra step in verification through security. So just give yourself a little bit more window of time. I'm putting my travel dad hat on. You need a little bit more time at the airport.
Okay, so you haven't made a plan yet, if you haven't made a plan yet. What do you do? Where are the deals? Where can we find them? Because I know you're the deal expert, so find them.
Yeah, we love, you know, Memorial Day is really about short haul trips. So places like New York to Chicago for 148 round trip. Chicago comes alive in the summer. Or maybe you're based on the West Coast. You can go from San Francisco to Arcata. Explore that Redwood National Park. I spent a Memorial Day there once, and it is fairy tale like.
Beautiful.
Super beautiful. Or maybe you do want to take an international trip. You can go from Miami to Guatemala City for 167 round trip. I was just in Antigua, Guatemala. Volcanoes everywhere.
How cool.
Beautiful city. Really, really great for a short period of time. So, you know, 2 to 3 day trip, maybe 4 if you can. Yeah, I mean, there's so many options out there.
I saw Iceland on your list too.
Iceland is on the list as well. It's roughly a 5-hour flight from Boston for $97, I believe it was. Crazy good deal. And that's last minute. I mean, Memorial Day is right around the corner. So if you have a little bit of time, you can go a little bit farther afield.
That's great.
The deals
and a
are
little
happening.
bit of flexibility too.
Yeah, we found all those round trip on the Going app, and those are on full service. Those are not on budget carriers.
Wow.
Okay. Katy, as always, we appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. Happy travels.